vaccine is a preparation of weakened, killed, or fragmented microorganisms, toxins, or biological materials like antibodies, lymphocytes, or mRNA that helps prevent disease. How are vaccines made? Vaccines are created by producing an antigen that stimulates an immune response. This antigen can be an inactivated or weakened microbe, a subunit of the pathogen, or a recombinant protein. After production, the antigen is purified, combined with stabilizers and enhancers to improve effectiveness and shelf life, and then manufactured in large quantities for distribution. Ixiaro is a vaccine developed against Japanese encephalitis, a viral infection carried by mosquitoes which affects the brain, causing inflammation. Severe cases can lead to fever, seizure, disorientation, or a coma, and may result in permanent damage or death. The vaccine is inactivated, implying that it is prepared by killing the virus. It protects against the disease by creating an immune response.
So now I'll briefly explain the key components of the Ixiaro vaccine and the roles in ensuring safety and effectiveness against the Japanese encephalitis. So the first component is the active ingredient, which is the inactivated Japanese encephalitis virus. So this is a critical element that stimulates the immune system to build the protection against the virus. Next, we have the adjuvant component, which is the aluminum hydroxide. This component enhances the immune response, ensuring the body reacts effectively to the vaccine. Next, we have the stabilizers, which are sodium chloride that maintain osmotic balance, and potassium dihydrogen phosphate and sodium hydrogen phosphate that maintain pH and stability. So these elements ensure the vaccine remains stable and safe for injection. Also have potassium and sodium in trace amounts. These minimal quantities ensure safety without affecting the body. Moving over to the next slide, I'll be explaining what happens to the human body when the vaccine is administered. When the vaccine is administered, the immune system identifies the inactivated Japanese encephalitis virus as an invader. Although it's inactivated and cannot cause the disease, it still continues to have its structure. Then the immune system will recognize that structure. So when the immune system recognizes the virus, the killed virus, it produces antibodies to fight against it. And these antibodies are actually proteins that specifically target and neutralize the virus. And then the immune system creates cells that store memories. These cells are called memory cells. They remember the structure of the virus. So this means in the future, if the person is exposed to the actual virus, their immune system will respond against it fast by producing necessary antibodies to fight it effectively. And the adjuvant component, which is the aluminum hydroxide, it aids by binding the virus particles, which keeps them at the injection site longer. This is how it enhances the immune response. So this helps to ensure a much stronger and longer lasting immunity.
Moving on, Ixiaro vaccine can be safely used following these guidelines. First, Ixiaro vaccine is given as a 2-dose series with the doses spaced 28 days apart. The first dose prepares the immune system, and the second dose boosts it. Waiting for 28 days ensures the best protection. Second, adults aged 18 to 65 years can get the second dose from as early as 7 days to 28 days after the first dose. This age group immune system are generally strong and respond quickly to vaccine. This is why they can safely receive the second dose just after 7 days if needed.
Moving on to recent research and discoveries on the Ixiaro vaccine. Vaccination is the only effective strategy against Japanese encephalitis, but producing vaccines requires growing the virus in labs, which is expensive, risky, and unsafe for those with weak immune systems. Researchers are exploring nanoparticle-based vaccines to address these issues. From 2000 to 2023, 28 studies focus mainly on virus-like particles that mimic the virus structure but aren't infectious. Other methods included subviral particles, biopolymers, and synthetic nanoparticles. These candidate vaccines showed promising results, boosting the immune system and protecting 70 to 100% of test mice from deadly JE infections. In 2021, the Vaccine Impact Modeling Consortium estimated that JE vaccines could save around 100,000 lives between 2021 and 2030. 3 different data collection methods were used to collect JE case counts and vaccination coverage data in 23 JE endemic countries. They are the WHO Path Protocol Survey data, bioregional data, and published data. Countries like Japan, China, South Korea, Sri Lanka, and Chinese Taipei have achieved a 90% or higher reduction in JE incidence after introducing the vaccine. Japan achieved this quickly, but it took several years for other countries. Recently, the European Medicines Agency reported that manufacturing problems worsened an Ixiaro shortage caused by increased demand, affecting Ireland, Italy, Poland, Portugal, and Spain. However, the issues have been resolved and supply is improving across the European Union and economic area, with the shortage expected to end by January 2025.
I will talk about the effectiveness of Ixiaro vaccine against Japanese encephalitis. This vaccine is a highly effective preventive measure, with clinical studies showing over 96% efficacy in adults and nearly 100% in children when the two-dose schedule is completed. However, despite its effectiveness, the vaccine is not 100% protective. These are several factors that limit its ability to provide absolute immunity, and I will discuss this in next slide. First, individual vulnerability. People with weakened immune systems, such as those undergoing immunosuppressive treatment or dealing with chronic illnesses, may not develop a sufficient immune response, leaving them partially protected. The duration of protection. Immunity typically lasts for 2 to 3 years, but antibody levels decrease over time. For those at ongoing risk, booster doses are necessary to maintain protection. Finally, incomplete vaccination. The vaccine requires 2 doses, 28 days apart, with full protection achieved a week after the second dose. Missing or delayed the second dose compromises effectiveness.
Now moving on to the side effects of the Ixiaro vaccine. Now, as we know that any vaccines can cause side effects, but for the most part, these are minor and it would go away within a few days. Now, side effects that you should report to your doctor or healthcare professional as soon as possible include allergic reactions like skin rash, itching or hives, swelling of the face, lips or tongue, breathing problems, and dizziness as well. Whereas side effects that usually do not require medical attention, do report to your doctor or healthcare professional if they continue or are bothersome, which is fever, headache, irritation or pain at the site where injected, muscle pain or weakness, nausea, unusually weak or tired. Now let's see some further information on the side effects. The very common ones could affect more than one user in 10, and these include headache, muscle pain, injection site pain, injection site tenderness, as well as tiredness in general. Common ones could affect 1 to 10 users in 100, and these could be nausea, influenza-like illness, fever, other injection site reactions, example redness, hardening, swelling, and itching. Uncommon side effects which could affect 1 to 10 users in 1,000 could include vomiting, skin rash, changes in the lymph nodes, migraine, which could be throbbing headache, often accompanied by nausea and vomiting and sensitivity to light. Dizziness, abdominal pain, and musculoskeletal stiffness are also one of those uncommon side effects. The rare side effects could affect 1 to 10 users in a 10,000 could include rapid heartbeat, difficulty breathing, abnormal sensation of the skin, swelling of the eyelid, and fainting. Now, common side effects in adults, which may affect more than 1 in 10 people, include headache, myalgia, which is basically muscle pain or discomfort, and tenderness at the injection site. Now, in children, which may affect more than 1 of 10 children, could include fever, diarrhea, and reactions at the injection site, such as redness. Now, that's all from me. Thank you.
In conclusion, vaccines are among the most effective methods of protection against the infectious diseases, saving countless lives and improving public health worldwide. Beyond just the individual protection they provide, they also shield communities through herd immunity by preventing the spread of illnesses. With ongoing advances in vaccine science, they remain a crucial tool in the fight against existing and emerging health threats.